Hare Krishna. Welcoming you all to Bhagavad Gita 18 days course, which is level 1 course, which is conducted by ISKCON Mangalore. And this is a basic level. And today's chapter is 13th chapter, little philosophical, not like earlier, like till 12th chapter, what we saw, it is not like that, little. So you have to apply your brain. Cannot be perceived through eyes or, can with our senses. We have to imagine. So let's see, because this is Sankhya philosophy type. So let's start with that class now. So I'll just thrice I'll recite Mahamantra. You all can tell in mute. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, anybody wants to take Pranati, who is very confident in this, all shlokas can take up, otherwise I'll take up. Again, as usual, you can raise your hand. So not for shlokas, okay? Shlokas I need to do fast, so we can't waste time. And okay, I'll take up the Pranati. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namah Guravi Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. That was our Pranati. Yes, so we have come to the class name is Understand Bhagavad Gita in 18 days. And today is the 13th day. Just 5 more days to go. We'll finish this course very fast. And then what? The journey has already started. Now, then you cannot get down. You have to go to further to level 2. All will be eligible for going to level 2. Plus, you can attempt all the quiz questions and also when you finish that, it will be like a boosting. You will have more confidence in going to level 2. So, attempt question. In case you have any problem, kindly write to us because you can't write it in the group, I think. So you can write to me. I will ask some admin to talk to you all. Okay, but complete all the 18 chapters and you'll get e-certificate. Then immediately click here for e-certificate will be given. Click there, you'll get certificate. Then you yourself will feel, oh, I need to learn more. Again, no, I am not very confident with L1. Even this itself is tough. You may feel nobody has a confidence, but then you can go to level 2, but continue doing level 1 because level 1 is what? 18 days course, and many timings are there. Level 2, only one time will be there, only 2 days a week. It's very pleasant. Slowly they will take. So by the time you go to the second chapter, that 18 days will, one round of 18 days will get over. By the time you go to the third, fourth, and fifth chapter, your second, next month, like this will be next October. Then November also, you can complete 18 days. So simultaneously, both patri pe, it will go, you will understand better. So continue both this. And then, of course, you should see your timing also. Not that whole day you can't spend on this. If you people are retired like me, then it's okay. Okay, so today we are taking chapter 13. And what is the title of this chapter is Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Vibhaga, Yoga. And nature, the enjoyer, and the consciousness. All these details we are going to see. What is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna? These are all Sanskrit words. So Arjuna is getting confused. He's asking the details from the Lord. Yeah. So based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, Abhaicharan Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, full form of ISKCON. So yesterday what did we see? Total Bhakti Yoga we saw. Like step by step by step. We said, you can't do this. Okay, go. He's gone. Bhagwan, niche utar. Okay, at least you do this. Then by doing that, you will get more bhakti and you can, go to that higher level. So he's giving us one easy method. He keeps giving us all easy methods. So Arjuna's inquiry, first he's asking who is better, a personalist or impersonalist? Should we this worship Lord with a figure, with a form or without form? Both are, both there are many people following both the paths. Both of the ultimate goal is what? To reach the Lord's abode. But which is better? Who are better? That is what his question was. And Bhagavan bolte hain ki, like, it's always because we are embodied soul. It's not that they're wrong and we are right. Because we are an embodied soul, we always conceive only a body, God with a body. Then we can understand. Oh, then I have to unko haar chadana hai. Oh, I have to dress him. I have to unko, he may be hungry. I have to feed him. Oh, I have to do some puja, arti, something, you'll feel like doing. But it's all everywhere pervaded, no form. What you will think of putting where? Haar kidhar dalenge? What? Wow. Where to give both? But still, there are people, jnanis and all, they sit on the meditation for months together, years together. They sit and do all the dadi badaki. That is a different concept because they don't live as a body. For them, the body, they don't even remember that they are bodily alive. They're just totally engrossed in that. We cannot be us just in baby step. That's all. So it is very difficult. So Bhagavan ko pata hai, where we stand. So he said, start with bodily. Start means this is better. This path is better. That is very difficult to cross over. So he's saying personalist is better. Then progressive stages of bhakti we saw. Then qualities that endear Krishna. Which qualities that we should cultivate so that Krishna will like us. So that all endless. And last, Ativa me priya, right? Like the most, whom he likes, the one who is doing devotional service. That quality he likes the most. Yes, and today we are going to see Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Vibhaga, Yoga. Arjuna's six questions. Lord Krishna described Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnana, Nyayam, Prakriti, Purusha, and their union. So these are all the 6 questions and the Sangam, or the union, that also he'll explain. Vision of knowledge. From 13th chapter, we are going to talk about more of knowledge only. Knowledge with, of course, bhakti. The first 6 chapters we saw karma, but with bhakti. In the middle chapter, bhakti and bhakti only. It was total bhakti. And now it will be little jnanam, little knowledge we are going to gain along with bhakti. Yes. So if bhakti is, see, normally when you buy a book, some kadambari, some story book, when you buy, what do you do first? You see the author. If you're very comfortable with the same author, yes, you know how he is writing, then you say, see the first 2-3 pages. Oh, this is the background. Oh, some story. Then what do? You go to the last page and see, oh, this is how it is ending. Oh, it's very interesting. Some you can conclude that way, right? So last page and first page is like preface and something, the last thing, So normally it is like that. Moral of the story. It's always written on the last. So that is the important thing is written. So here someone can ask like this, if bhakti is the culmination, why is jnana presented in the last 6 chapters? Why jnana is given, bhakti should be there, no? Like that people may think. In truth, the entire Bhagavad Gita is bhakti only. Karma yoga, what we learn in the first 6 chapters is also about bhakti. But along with bhakti, karma karna hai. And in the between, as I said, only bhakti we were talking. And now knowledge, gaining knowledge, but along with bhakti. So the entire Bhagavad Gita is of bhakti only. The first 6 chapters discuss how to achieve bhakti through work. The last six chapters describe how to achieve it through knowledge. And the middle six chapters discuss bhakti itself. So there is no, it is not like any other ordinary book for the last, first part and last part will not have any sambandh. This will have some starting and will end in something else. So the moral of the story will be given. Here it is not like that. It is right from beginning, we will be talking of bhakti only. So there is no last six chapters, why only jnana? It is not like that. So the middle six chapters discuss bhakti itself. Also in the 12th chapter, yesterday what we saw, Krishna explained how he personally delivers his devotees from the cycle of birth and death. That also he explained. So the last six chapters provide the philosophical knowledge necessary to extricate oneself from this material world. We have to come out of this vicious cycle. So for that knowledge is giving in the last six chapters. Then jnana has its use in assisting our detachment from Maya and our attachment to Krishna. Anything, any attachment other than Krishna or scriptural studies is all Maya. Then how are we to know? This, that only. So anything about classes, yes. Or about learning shlokas, yes. That is all allowed. You can have liking for it. You can have desire to have it. That is not, that will not harm you. That will not take away from Bhagwan ka dhyan. But whereas anything other than that, Maya, that is all Maya, which will take us about turn and we'll be going to that path. So whatever we were progressing, again, about turn, we are going backwards. So it's again difficult to come back from, leaving all that attachment to come to this path. It will be very difficult again. So we are already chosen to take this, taken this path. It's not that immediately you have to leave the house and go. He has never said that. And leave your work and do puja. But that also he has never said. Bhagavan says, you do your job, whatever his duties are assigned to you, do it, but thinking of me. Never forget me. Be my devotee. Serve me. Pay obeisances to me. Show devotion to me. Do devotion to me. So he's telling us what all we can do as devotion. Simple as japa. Japa is the best. So slowly you get attached to Krishna and his form, and slowly you get attached. Then hence, when we use knowledge as a means to attain devotion, it becomes a part of bhakti. So knowledge gained through bhakti is also bhakti. Yeah, so now we'll go to shloka. Om Shri Krishnaya Paramatmane Namaha Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogaha Atatrayodasho Dhyaya. That is chapter. First two chapters, meaning is given to, oh God. Okay. Arjuna Vacha Prakritim Purusham Cha Eva. Cha Eva is and also. So in Sanskrit we have in English also and also like that. In Sanskrit also they have Cha Eva and all that. So but when you write together it becomes Chaiva like that. Okay. So many times you can encounter this, Chaiva, Chaiva. So you may wonder what is this Chaiva? This Cha Eva together we have put Chaiva. So Prakritim and also Purusha like that he's trying to explain. Kshetram, Kshetrajnam, Evacha. Here if you see that Cha Eva, yahan pe Evacha. They say, some grammar will be there. Evacha. So, and also, etat veditum ichchami jnanam jneyam cha Keshava. Also tell me what is jnanam and what is jneyam Keshava, he say. So, Bhagavan Uvacha. Idam shari. Oh, the thing is one. 1 minute, let me take that. Sorry about that. I didn't realize. I keep changing and it went down. Yeah. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramithya etadyo veti tam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. Yes. That, Arjuna is inquiring. Arjuna is saying, oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, about the nature. What exactly is nature? Purusha, who is enjoying the nature. And the field, the field of knowledge. The field where the activities are done. And the knower of the field and of knowledge. And also he wants to know about what is knowledge. Already we have done the chapter, this Bhagavad Gita is the king of knowledge. It is the secret of all knowledge we have done. Still he is having doubt. Arjuna keeps asking. So he's asking, what is knowledge? What exactly is that? When you learn that, nothing else is required to be learned. So what is that? So what is knowledge? An object of knowledge. What is that thing we are going to learn about in that knowledge. Knowledge is gaining, that power of understanding certain thing. So about what we are going to learn? The knowledge about what? Which subject? So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, this body, Napanti, is called the field. So whatever Atma does, Atma as a Atma, it can't do anything. So it needs a body. It takes a, here what? Cow body, here also cow, yeah, swan, or a tree body, peacock body, human body, female body, male body. It needs a body to do activities. Through eyes, it will, see, through ears, it will hear. So to do all this, it needs a body. So if you take a cow body, then you'll have horns, you'll have tail, you'll have 4 legs and all. That time. So whatever form you take, according to the, that akar, according to the form, you will start behaving also. Your eyes will be there, different types of eyes and all that. But since we are human, we know how to smile. So we walk on 2 legs, not 4 legs. So all the changes will be there. And we will make that Atma will make use of this body. So the Atma is doing what this body is, is what for that Atma ke liye, a body kya hai? It is the field. It is doing activity in this field. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said the body, Usanapunti, is called field. And one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. One who knows this body is called the knower of the field. Now, who knows the body? We'll read further. Now, for playing cricket, we always say, hey, gali mein mat khelo, can't shoot jayega. Go to the ground so that you can just hit 6 and all. Yeah, more than that. So they need a big ground for playing cricket or something, right? So they need a field. The same thing. That's why it is also cricket field, we say, no? The same way for this Atma to act, to interact, it needs a body. So that body is called field. And who knows the body? That all we'll explain here. Now, Prakriti. Prakriti means what? Material nature. Nature. And which is material nature. Yeah. Then Purusha. Who is enjoying that? Enjoying that Prakriti? He will be explained. Answer. Oh, enjoyer of Prakriti. Purusha. Purusha is who? Oh, Purusha is who? He's asking what is Prakriti? It is nature. Who is Purusha? He is the enjoyer of that nature. Enjoyer of that nature is called Purusha. Kshetra. Kshetra is the body where the activities are done, which is Sharira, our body. Kshetrajna, observer in the body. Observer in the body, soul, super soul. Who knows about the Kshetra? There is a body. So who understands this body? Definitely, we as Atma, we know this body is ours. So it is doing all activity. Also, Paramatma is residing in our body. So Paramatma is also known as a, he knows the body, observer of the body, he knows the body. The Jnanam, knowledge. What is knowledge? Understanding Kshetra and Kshetrajna is the knowledge. What is actually knowledge? Not geography. Whatever we learned, trigonometry and calculus and derivatives and what all we learned in our young days. So no use at all. Are we remembering now? Even the names also is just flash, it just comes. You don't even know. I don't remember all that because since I was not later I didn't take up science and all that just left. But that is even otherwise also, that is of no use. So jnanam, what is knowledge? Understanding self and understanding what is body, what is the knower of the body. So kshetrajna samajhna hi knowledge. That itself is knowledge. So we are going to learn about that. And Nyayam, what is the purpose of knowing this? Attaining Paramatma, attaining the Lord. So that is the goal of knowledge. Yeah, so it has been compared to a land. Our body is compared to a land. So, and we, body when utilized for spiritual advancement is like utilizing our land for the best and most expensive crops that would yield maximum profit. So a farmer knows, now it's a rainy season. So he knows what to be sowed. A crop which needs more water will be, that crops will be sowed and immediately, by the end of the rainy season, you can do all that, remove that crop and it will yield a lot of this. Next comes winter. So winter, thandi mein, like which crops can take up. So that will be that he will sow and he will, the same land, but he will be changing the seeds. He will be changing and maximum utilization of the land he keeps doing. And the same way, the body is also like that. It has a lot of potential. Only we are almost lazy only. We think and we have that lack of confidence. No, nahi hoga, mere se nahi hoga. I can't do it. We think like that. No, when you put it into practice, yes, you can do. Just now, Prabhuji, as he said, as you keep learning, reading that shloka, it keeps automatically, you take interest and it keeps. See, once it starts, you start getting to read correctly. You gain interest also. So let me read again. So with interest, you'll keep revising more, and it automatically you'll become perfect in that. So the same way as we use the land for more crops, to grow more crops and all, the same way we have to use this body to develop more and more spiritual activities. So this body, so what are the 6 subjects we are learning now? About the body, that is Kshetra, Kshetrajna, more of the body, knowledge, this Jnanam, Nyayam. Nyayam is the object of knowledge. What are we going to learn about? This is Jnanam, the subject, knowledge, but about what we are going to learn. And nature, Prakriti, and who is the enjoyer, Purusha. So these are the 6 subjects we are going to learn. So what is nature? This is nature. That, cloud and sun, whatever, trees and mountains and river, pond, or whatever you see in the nature, Prakriti, that is called Prakriti. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Who is the enjoyer? Purusha. Who is Purusha? The soul as well as Paramatma. We both are going to be both are Paramatma. See, Paramatma only, but God has only given the he has only created everything. But whose sake? We as a superior energy of the Lord, we are using this inferior energy of the Lord, which is the Prakriti. So we both are using the Prakriti. So we are called Purusha. Not only Bhagwan Purusha, when we as a soul, we are also called Purusha. And what is body? The body is called Kshetram. Once a soul plays in some particular kind of body, he comes under the control of nature. Nature is what? The 3 gunas of nature. As long as we are Atma, these 3 gunas will not affect us. It is like magnet and the iron particles. We are all, when the body is made of matter, then start attracting. So attracting means what? It will pull us. Sattva-guna will pull us in one angle. Rajoguna will say, no, don't do all this puja part and do exercise and, do activity, so much of activity. Don't waste time like this. And the Tamoguna will, oh God, what are you doing? Take rest. Be lazy and, says the Tamoguna will make us lazy. And Rajoguna is direct opposite of that. Always active. And Sattva-guna will take us to doing all pious activities. So all these 3 nature will keep on pulling us. So he says, he comes under the control of nature because the body, being matter, acts according to the laws of nature. At that time, the living entity has no power to change that law. The law cannot be changed. He has to be under the modes, and he has to follow that rules. But yes, there is a clause. Always there is exceptions. Exception is what? Once you have the liberty of, we are all given the freedom of thinking and what to do, what not to do, and all that. So with that freedom, what is that freedom? We can worship Lord. When you do that, worshipping, doing a lot of devotional service, and when you do, slowly these Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattoguna, all this material nature, that effect will go away, and you go to Shuddha Sattva-guna, you will attain. So that is also is written. But as it is, when you see these people, we human beings, we do not have any right to, no, how can you catch me? No, you can't escape from this 3 positions. At that time, the living entity has no power to change that law. We are puppets. We can't do anything. Now, who is the knower of the body? Kshetrajna. Who knows our body? We as an Atma, we know about this body as well as Paramatma, because he resides in our body. Paramatma resides in all the bodies. Same Paramatma residing in all the bodies. So he knows all the bodies. We as an Atma, we know only about our body. So Atma knows our body as well as Paramatma. So 2 examples are given, like 2 birds. One bird is very but he's very active, like we. With 3 o'clock this class, after this, this class katam, then we have to go for Ganpati Visarjana. Something will be there in your planning. Okay, so this is what, and this we have to listen. Then you what, eat, or you see, or some, with all our senses also we keep ourselves very active, and that is depicted as one bird which is always active, with its wings, want to do something. And the other bird is very quiet. He is Paramatma. He is just a witness as well as sanctioning authority. He sanctions. Without his sanction, we cannot do anything. See, we want to see. You must have noticed. Whatever we think, can we achieve? नहीं होता है. Something, you think of it, हो जाता है. Something you cannot do. You're thinking of it very deeply, always trying for it, but you're not getting. Why? There's a sanctioning authority sitting inside. He allows, then only we can do. But a person who is killing, why is not stopping him from killing or doing chori and all that? He doesn't see which is good and bad and all. He has to just see whether he has, he will allow whatever is right for that moment, he will allow. Agar kill karne ke liye somebody is going, the Atma is saying, no, I'm going to kill that person. With my body, I'm going to kill that person. He'll say, okay, go ahead. He will not stop. That's why there are many, you can find, no, why Paramatma is not stopping. So Paramatma is not there as a teacher to tell, no, this is wrong, this is a bad act, this is a good act. No, he's not there to teach us. He says, even the chori karne wala, whatever, whoever does, mask and all, night, nobody should recognize me, CCTV, all that thing he sees and he does, because he knows he's doing something bad, abominable act. So he knows he's doing something and other pakda jayega bhi good, thrashing. So that's why he's taking care. So person who is doing the good act or bad act, he knows what he's doing. Only a sanction has to be required from Paramatma, and he will just watch and he will sanction. Of course, not that whatever we desire it doesn't get happen, but some things that doesn't happen is because Paramatma is not sanctioning. It may be very good, like, going to temple, but it's not happening. I want to go to Tirupati. From when I'm planning, because for like people like us who are very far, for us only once in a year is a blessing going to Tirupati and God standing in queue and all. So we always think like, going to Tirupati. And people who are staying nearby, oh, I thought every Sunday I go, Saturday I go, night we khada rehta hai, Sunday I come back. I take darshan. So people, so like that, so the sanctioning authority is this. So we may think something, but it doesn't happen. That also because Paramatma is not sanctioning. So when most of the things he sanctions, and whether it is good or bad, that he doesn't bother. Only we know very well what we are doing good or bad. So that we should face the music. We should know what we are doing, and accordingly we get the result also. So those are knowing the body. Now we will come to what is knowledge. Jnanam. What is jnanam? Knowing the difference between the matter and spirit. What is soul? What is body? The difference we should know. Even today, we still give importance to our body only because we are not in the jnani stage. But we have to slowly come out of it and think, after all, I'm Atma. After all, I'm Atma. After all, I'm Atma. This body, keep changing. When you keep practicing that, what happens if anybody dies, you will not feel bad. Because you know that Atma is only gone. The body is all. Even otherwise, if Atma goes, the body, like car and driver. When the driver goes out, the car doesn't move. Oh God, the car is not moving. How it will move? The driver is gone. The battery operated car and all is come. But I'm saying in general. So we have to understand that. So, but the only difference is the driver can come back to the car and he can drive. The Atma doesn't come. It will use another body. It will not come to the old used body. It was fresh body. So Atma, we should know the difference between Atma and this is the jnana. This is the knowledge what we should have. And what is the body is made up of? This is all we learned in second chapter only, but still one revision time. Air, sky, earth, water, and fire is made up of all these 5 elements. This body has been made. We'll be talking about all these elements now today. It will be confusing only, but let's see. And Atma is like very small speck out of that haircut tip. Our haircut tip, when you cut into 10,000 parts, one part is so small it will be. Can't be burned, can't be, withered by wind, can't be, can't be moistened, and what can't be cut into pieces and can't be burnt. So all these things in second chapter, detail about Atma we have learned. And body is made up of this. Then who are we? What is the object of knowledge? What are we going to learn? Knowledge is okay. Then what are we going to learn about? That we are Atma, and Atma is what? Body is made up of all that we saw, and there are layers of bodies. One is the gross body. What you are seeing outside is the gross body. Within that there is a covering, which is called subtle body. What is gross body? Just now we saw air, fire, water, all that, space and all that. And what is there is inside that there is a subtle body. Subtle body is mind, intelligence, false ego. That. So when you go to doctor and all, if any surgery is happening, you cannot tell him, just remove my mind and show me. He can show you heart and kidney and all, he can show. Just show me how my mind looks, how my intelligence looks. There's nothing, there's, part like intelligence and all. It is Sukshma Sharira. It is there, just you have to understand. A person may be intelligent. Why you say intelligent? With his acts. He may be intelligently talking or speaking or something. So with that, we will come to know his intelligence, his mind and all that. So these are all very subtle things which we cannot make out. False ego. Ego, that also. And inside that cover is the soul. And the soul is what? Sat Chit Ananda, which we term even to the Lord. as Paramatma as Satchitananda. Bhagavan ka kaisa hai? He is Satchitananda. Satya is always Satyam. He is always eternal. He is always there. Chit, always full of knowledge, conscious. He's not the knowledge. He's never, it's like, he's gone, sleep, slept. He doesn't know what is happening. No, he's always aware what is happening, conscious, totally aware what is happening around. And Ananda, always happy. Our soul is actually always happy. But what we do not try to keep it happy. So it needs food. What? It doesn't need the carrot or palak and all that. It needs, its food is only to take Bhagwan ka naam. So that's why when you go to temple and come, you feel nice. When you read shloka, you feel nice. When you come to this attend class and when you linger on it, oh, nice, no? Today I learned something about Bhagavad Gita. You feel some positive effect. So that's because under the Atma is so happy, that is exhibited when you're in your thoughts and in your smile or in your face, everything is being exhibited. So Bhagwan Satchitananda, we are all, after all, the part and parcel of the Lord. So we are also Satchitananda only. Only that we should try to keep the soul happy. How to make the soul happy? By taking the name of the Lord as often as possible. In fact, throughout. Yeah. So what the difference between soul and super soul? Soul is what? Living entities are known as Jivatma. That is called soul. And God as maintainer is known as Paramatma. Paramatma is also, see, what? Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. These are all Bhagwan ka, each way of understanding. He is God only, but way of understanding. A light form, yes, Brahman form. It has a lot of potential as the God has, as Krishna has. And that Paramatma with 400 form, yes, he is also Krishna, but in 400 form. Just the appearance is different. He is residing in everyone's heart. Then infinitesimal small. Soul is very small. Size of the soul is 1 upon 10,000, the size of the tip of the hair. This super soul is what? Infinite. It's Vibhu, and we are Anu. That word will be given there in your quiz and all. When you attempt, it may come. Then cognizant of one's own body. He is aware. Cognizant is aware. Soul knows that this is the body. I have to act with this. If I take a cow body, yes, I have to, the 4 legs will be there. Then I have to, when I become happy, I have to wag my tail. So, or, the cow and all, at least the dog, I know, it wags its tail. We do not have tail, but we have that smiling, face. Give a smile, show your teeth. Then that is how a human being. So that is how he exhibit. So he is aware of this body. Individual owner, individual knower. Then cognizant of everyone and everything. Super soul knows about every individual body and every living thing. So he is present in all the bodies. The soul is secondary proprietor of for one body. This as a body, though the soul is there, soul is not the original owner. Paramatma is the original owner. We are only the secondary owner. Analogy is citizen as the proprietor of one land. Actually, who's the owner of that? Suppose it's a government. It's a government's land, right? And we purchase it in our name, but we pay taxes. We give something to the government. So who is the original owner? It is always the government, and we are the citizen of that land because we are using the land like that. And super soul is the supreme proprietor of all the bodies. Yes. Analogy is what? King. King is the proprietor of all. Okay, I'm paying king there. So king. So when the old zamane mein, king. So once you use that land you're using, okay, give me so much profit. The same thing like government and tax concept only. So they pay something. So original kiska, who is the owner? It is king. Because this is his land. And that we take and we purchase, or on lease you take and then you use it. Yeah, and the soul is the secondary controller of senses. Analogy, citizens are the secondary controller of activities. Yes, Supreme Lord is the supreme controller of the senses. Rishi Kesha, he is the controller of all the senses. Now, King is the original controller of all activities. Okay, we see so. Soul is fallible. Fallible means what? We are bound to commit mistakes. Okay, and infallible. Super soul doesn't do any mistake. It doesn't, especially when Acharya said, infallible in what sense? He doesn't do mistake. Whenever devotee asks something, he has never, it has never happened that devotee is disappointed, he's not getting something in return and all that. Whatever he asks, everything, not exactly whatever he is getting. I can think of anything, Karodapati and all. Will he give? Only if I'm eligible for it, he will give. But Bhagwan sees to it that my devotee doesn't go, empty-handed. I should give him something that he becomes happy. Either good health or wealth or something he will give. So he's infallible in that sense. It is not that otherwise no infallible. Bhagwan ke liye kya, what fallible? We can, but he is called infallible because he will never go with, he will, but devotee, oh God, I'm not getting anything from the Lord. So much I'm doing. That can never happen. And then he's a soul is a loving servitor of, is a loving servitor, a subordinate of the Lord, always at the bottom line. He is the eternally, yes, a loving master, superior. He is always a master and we are always servitor of the Lord. Innumerable living entities. The soul kitna bahut sare hain, but through though super soul is there in every heart, he is one only. The super soul is in the heart of every living entity, and within every atom, still there is only one super soul. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajnayo jnanam yat jnanam matam mama. This jnanam is, this is what my matam is what opinion. Yeah. So what he's saying, Ostyana Bharta, you should understand that I am also the knower of knower in all the bodies. Like we say, the soul is there in every body. This man has got this soul. This man means what? Actually the soul has got this body. I should say the other way around. This soul is covered with this body. This soul is covered with this body. This soul is with this body and all. But in each body, Paramatma is also there. And the same Paramatma is residing in all the bodies. That we should know. So he's saying, I am also the knower of all bodies, and to understand this body and its owner is called knowledge. To understand what is body and the owner of the body. Who is the first owner? Paramatma. Who is the secondary owner? We ourselves. So that we should know, and that is called knowledge. This is my opinion. Matam mama. This is my opinion. Rishi Birbahuda Gitam Chandro Birvividai Prutak Brahma Sutra Padai Shaiva Hetumadbir Vinishchitaihi. That knowledge of the field of activities and of the knower of activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings. Many sages have come, Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra, many scriptures are there. Those people have written about what? The field of activity, the Kshetra ke bare mein, and also the knower of activity, Kshetrajna. The Kshetra is the place where the activities are taking place. With example, the body. And who is knower of the body? They are called Kshetrajna. So about the Kshetra and Kshetrajna, these great sages have written in many sutras. Sutra is the Vedic scriptures, Vedanta Sutra. So it is especially presented in Vedanta Sutra with all reasoning as to cause and effect. The cause and the effect. Like that they have thought over it and they have written all that. Yeah, this is another Prucham. 5 yeah. Brahma Pucham, 5 stages of realizing Brahman. How are we going to understand what this life is all about? Whether there is some superior power which is taking care of. So first what we understand is Annamaya. Even a small baby when it is born, it cries. How to pacify it? It doesn't stop. Just give it some sugar syrup or some little milk and all them. 2 drops, one born child, how much tummy will be so small. 2 drops, 1.5 spoon, you just give, goes to sleep. It's happy. So that is what, even an ant, you just drop 1 sugar cube, so much ant ka line lag jayega. So how it comes? Everybody wants food. The survival system actually, so is food. So the basic of understanding to live is, I want food. Even now, you tell some old, poor person, and you do Japan and all, that is very good. They say, hey, come on, please keep quiet. I am hungry now. I need something to eat. Once I'm fully hungry, if I'm fully, satisfied, no hunger and all, then I can think of something better. When I'm hungry, I can't think of anything. That's why in ISKCON and all, first preference is given for prasad. Prasad is not that our normal temple ka prasad one, the cup mein kuch diya, ya keep the prasad or Vishwa prasad and all. This proper lunch with full, whatever we do at home, same exotic food and all is sometimes prepared, especially ISKCON Mangalore, you all should visit once at least, you should go and visit. Sunday we have feast. It is prasad again. So somebody will sponsor somewhere. Many sponsors are there. So their birthday or anniversary, something will be not this today's day, Radha Ashtami. So all the auspicious day, there are plenty of people, doing. So what they sponsor. So Anna is the important thing. The food is what is the basic necessity. So bodily platform. So first we are aware only about this body. We are concerned about that. A body made up of food, flesh, and bones. Stomach is fire. Okay. The next what we are aware is the prana. So you're given food. tightly closed room, no ventilation. Won't you feel suffocated? Then you realize, oh God, so much food, but I'm gasping for fresh air. So then you realize, oh no, I need air also to breathe. So that awareness comes to us. That is pranamaya, sensual platform. A body composed of energy, our life force of prana flows through the bloodstream, lymph and nervous system. So lungs, heart, air. Okay. We'll not go into the deeper study of that. This is pranamaya. First basic is annamaya, then comes pranamaya. Then comes what? Once you are comfortable with, anna, you want proper timely food, yes. Pranam, yes, fresh air, everything is that. Then what slowly, how you develop? You start thinking of jnanam. So slowly start developing the knowledge, mental platform. The body is made up of the mind, our perception of the world. Then you look at the world. Oh, what is happening? Which country is fighting with which? Oh God, that, this, and all. You just think over. You are given that mind and you think of all that. It is the home of the ego, emotions, and behavior. Then comes what? Vijnanamaya. Then you develop intelligence also. First, you just learn what is happening. Then you start giving opinions also. No, this cannot be done. This should have been done. Free advice will give. What current France, France the problem is going on. No, Canada. So we will sit here and we will give advice on that. So that is Vijnanamaya, a body of wisdom, knowledge, values, beliefs, and sense of right and wrong. Everything we'll start understanding. So we have crossed all this. Then our intelligence is also developed and we will start giving free advices from sitting at home. Then comes what? Anandamayas. Finally, we reach a stage where everything is very blissful. You know who are we? We are not the body. We are the Atma. And you know what? Everything you get bliss when you do japa or when you do all services to the Lord. That is the ultimate happiness you get. So that level you reach. The body of consciousness, the most subtle body, is the bliss we experience as one with cosmic consciousness. All big words will be there. Don't get confused and all. This is just what is taught here. The detail of this will continue again next level 2 also will be taught this only in a better way, in still lengthy way it will be taught. But these are the basic the 5 stages of realizing Brahman. Yeah. Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhir avyaktam evacha indriyani dashaikam cha panchachendriya gocharaha ichcha dvesha sukham dukkham sangatas chetanadritihi etak kshetram samasena savikaram udahritam. The 5 great elements. Now comes all the total this philosophical. Okay, if you want, you people can note down because this will keep continuing. Not the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita further chapter mein nahi aayega, but next year, level 2 when you go again, this will come. So these are the basics. We will not go into deep study and all. This supervision, whatever the shloka is said, that we have to explain. The 5 great elements: false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested. Like the egg. Egg is what? The unmanifested form of a cock or hen, whatever. And what is, so which comes first? We say, no, we debate, no, which comes first, like that. So unmanifested state. Then it gets manifested. Again, it lays eggs. Again, so egg is like a unmanifested stage of a hen or cock, whatever. So that, then the 10 senses, we have that, eyes, nose, ears, and all this. And what? Some are working senses, some are knowledge acquiring senses. The next slide will show all the details. So all the 10 senses, the mind, the 5 sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, total, the life symptoms and convictions, all these are considered in summary to be the field of activities, all field of activities and its interactions. Now, this body is considered, okay, this body, in this what are there? All these details are there, which we will see in detail in the next. Yeah. 26 elements are there. Constitute the material nature and bodies. Yeah. Now 5 gross elements. So body is made up of Panchabhuta, Mahabhuta. What is that? Earth, water, fire, air. We saw, no? This is our of this Stula Sharira. The outward, this body is made up of that 5 gross elements. Then comes, there are 3 subtle elements which we cannot see. We just saw in the previous slide: mind, intelligence, and false ego. Why it is called false ego? You always consider, I am doing. We are not doing anything. We means as a soul I'm talking. Whenever I'm saying I'm not the body I'm talking as a soul. The soul thinks, means I am thinking, I am doing. No, it is only the 3 gunas which is making me do. No, the Sattva Guna is active. It is making me, teach. After this, when I become tired, if I go to sleep, the Tamo Guna will say, oh, no, 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 you sleep. So it's all because of the Tamo Guna, Rajo Guna, and Sattva Guna, we are all doing all this action. But as a soul, we are all in the false ego that I'm doing, like that, either in the good sense or the bad sense. Okay. So it is the false ego. Normally it is not said ego, it is said false ego. Then one pradhana. What is that pradhana? Unmanifested stages of the three modes of nature. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, not in active form. It is there, waiting to attract something. Some body comes in, will attract. Till that time, it is waiting, unmanifested for me. So that is called pradhana. And then 5 working senses. What are they? Hand. It works, no? With hand, we can lift and write and do what all things. So working. Hand, legs, mouth, rectum, and genitals. All these parts are made use. On legs, we can walk. Through hands, we can make things. Mouth, we eat. And then rectum is for passing stools and waste and all. Genitals for procreation. So all this. The knowledge acquiring senses. What are they? In this body, so many things are there. Knowledge acquiring senses, eyes. Through eyes, you read, you see, understand, all that. Ears, we can hear, nose, smell, then it is used. But these parts are there. These are what? Knowledge acquiring senses, tongue, skin, and all that. The object of the senses, what is the use of this eye? For seeing, what is the use of the ears? For hearing, for smelling, tasting, touching, to feel, all this. Then time, which is the time is a mixing ingredient. What we put normally when you cook all that, 1 cup of this, 100 grams, this, that, this, then you mix. Then you put something for, mixing to become a batter or something you put, okay. So that is a mixing element is what? Time. Kala, we say, time will heal everything. So time is also required and he is also Bhagwan, okay. So to connect the above 26 material bodies to the soul, the Kala, it's very difficult to conceive and understand, okay. It's like partially, but nahi samajh mein aaya. Like that only you will feel. Take it, at least for me, it took a lot of time to understand all this. Even I will not say I'm thorough with it, but how much ever I know, I'm just explaining. Then one Mahat Tattva, what is that? Prakriti, that is nature. Final stage of creation. That's why it become inferior. All this he has created, and finally he created, Bhagavan created nature also. And body plus soul combines with 3 modes of nature. So what happens? He has a body and with soul inside, and the 3 modes. When the nature is given, the 3 modes are also active. Then it acts upon us. That is called Mahat Tattva. This not to samajh ke le lo, all this total will come to 5 plus 5 plus 5. All this 20, 23, 24, 25, 26. These are the 26 material elements constitute the material nature and bodies. Okay. Now this one side aside point only. Earth. Earth is the first least subtle, because least subtle means what? Processed. It is the process. Why? We can see, we can touch, we can smell, and we can feel. Now, less subtle is water. Is the second least subtle, because we can see, touch and feel, but we cannot smell. Can we smell water? Gutter ka pani hai, so definitely you can smell and say, oh. But otherwise, as water, you don't get any smell. You can feel, you can see everything. Then fire, the third least subtle, because we can see and feel, but you cannot touch and smell. You can't smell and you can't even touch the fire. Then air. Air is the fourth least, because we can feel. Air you can feel, but you can't see, you cannot touch, you cannot smell. The ether, the space. Space is the least, most, is the most subtle, because we can neither see, nor touch, nor smell, nor feel. These are the side aside points. So just to an extra, tippani. Sorry, ABC. All these are all the philosophical points, okay. Anyway, it's there in this chapter, so it has to be dealt with. Otherwise, for our Bhakti Marga, we are not concerned at all. But wait, Advaitic principles, yes, it is all based on this only, conscious level. They learn everything in the conscious level. Sushupti, something, deep sleep. Then you are awaken more, your deep sleep more, then swapna, when you see your dream, that avastha is different. So all that they talk about that. Anyway, so we'll not go to that level. We will just do our part. Okay, now 8 to 12. Shlokas. Amanitvam madam vitvam mahimsa kshanti rajavam acharyopasanam chaucham stairyam atma vinigraha. 9. Indriyateshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityujara vyadi dukkha doshanudarshanam. And 10 is asaktir anavishvanga. This is you may wonder what is all this. These are all the knowledge he's saying. Bhagavan says, all this what I'm telling, these are the only knowledge. The other rest of the things what you learn in your material life is not knowledge at all, he's saying. Asaktir anabhishvanga putradara brihadishu nityam cha samasittatvam nishtanistopapatishu maicha ananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini vivikta desha sevitvam aratirjana samshadi adhyatma jnana nityatvam tatvajnanartha Jnanartha darshanam etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yet ato anyata whatever is there, rest of these they are all ajnanam. It is not knowledge at all. So the next slide may more detail में दिया है, so I want to do it faster. Hare Krishna. I don't mind taking because I'm used to taking level 2 class. That goes for more like almost 2 hours. Slow and steady and all that. In 1 hour, it is very difficult to cross all. Yeah. So what is given in this? All the topics. Ama nitvam madam vitvam. What is it? It is what? Humility. Pridelessness. Ama nitvam. Humility. So we'll not again read the Sanskrit part. Only this. Should be humble. Humility. Prideless. No need of having any pride. So whatever we have learned is only a speck. How much to learn is so big. It's world-like. There's so much. Then one should have non-violence. One should follow the non-violence. Tolerant, simplicity, be simple. Approaching a bona fide spiritual master. That is Acharya Upasan. Acharya, so we read that. Then cleanliness. Be clean, not only in the body level as well as the Atma also. How to keep it clean? By feeding it by what? Hare Krishna Nama Japa. Then steadiness. Thairyam, yes, I will do it. There 18 days course. Not one day I'm going to miss. I'm going to complete that course. That is steadiness. Self-control. Then you have to have self-control in everything. All that eyes, nose, and everything will want something. Eyes will say, I want to see that. Ears will say, I want to hear that. Everything, my hands, everything will want something to do. But you have to use your mind to control. For that, you need to have that intelligence also to control the mind, to tell the senses not to do. So that way. So then renunciation of the objects of sense gratification. Everything will say, eyes will also say, aaj ka din picture dekhega, that new movies come, whatever. But sense gratification ke liye what? Renunciation of the objects of sense gratification. Indriya artheshu vairagyam. That vairagyam we should have. Then absence of false ego. Anahankara. Ahankara is ego. Anahankara is false. Absence of ego. Perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease. When a child is born, naturally, a child will only be born, not a man. When a baby is born, understand this will grow, that diseases will come, he will grow old, and one day that child will die. Not as a child, maybe after a few years, 100 years, and he may die. So this has to happen. If birth, something is born, it will definitely die. And it will grow old also. And it will have diseases also. This jnana, this understanding one must have. Perception of evil. Detachment. Asakti. You should be detached with what? All materialistic things. Freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest. All this thing. This is all like, entangling. In the 15th chapter, you will be learning all that. So this is all, banda. We all banda mukta. Remember what? We are all, conditioned because of all this. So how can we leave on it? Nobody's asked us to leave. Only that detached. As a duty, you do your duty. You can advise. If there is somebody is asking you advice, and then keep quiet. I have done my part of advising also. Now, are they following? Why are they not following? That is none of your headache. Because they will face the music. If they don't want to listen to you and they want to, go by their own way and then make mistakes, let them learn by their mistakes. So you cannot you can take the horse to the pond. That's all you can do. If the horse doesn't want to drink water, bring it back. Simple. The same way you should be detached from all this children, wife, home, all this, my, whatever we say, should be detached. Even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events. This always is said in many slokas, sukha, dukkha, all this, you should be samatva. Then constant unalloyed devotional service. This is what is recommended. Always think of the Lord. You may do all your activities, but inside your heart, what? Hey Krishna. One namaskar, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah, but if you can afford to say that whole mantra, yes. Many times, very good. You're going in a bus to some place, you have a half an hour sitting and going. Instead of just reading books or, looking outside, it's just keeps chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Be with the Lord. So constant and unalloyed devotion, no deviation at all. Aspiring to live in a solitary place. Why like that? Solitary place. Always there's contamination. There are people to, even now also, there are many people may tell us, yeah, Surati, whole day, what are you doing? Many people tell us, whole day class, what are you doing? Your legs are getting swollen because you're sitting in one place. For so much of a health problem, you're not going for walk and all. And what are you going to learn in Bhagavad Gita? What is Bhagavad Gita? Everybody knows about Bhagavad Gita. I mean, whatever we take into that also, people are there to, negate and say, no, don't do all that. So in general, people are there to discourage us. So always try to be on your own. You like it, you do it. Because we cannot keep convincing others, right? So just try to be away from the crowded place, because many different, even when you go to temple and all, I've heard from acharyas only, place of worship, always you should go alone. Why like that? Because even if you go with your friend or anybody, you'll tend to talk, because we suppose curtain dal hai. You're waiting. How much time you'll say Narayana, Narayana, Hare Krishna, and all that. Then suddenly you start gossiping. Then you start talking with the neighbor or whoever is along with you. You talk and that there is a sanctorium. You're standing in mandir, bhi bhul jake, and you'll be talking all nonsense, not required at all. So don't take anybody along with you. Even if somebody is along with you, ask them to stand in a different queue or something. You be alone and totally get engrossed. More you get to stand in the temple, better, because the curtain is good. Because until unless the curtain opens, they show the darshan and they put that, tirtha and all that. So you get more chance to, be with the Lord and pray the Lord. And that temple premises will be all very auspicious. So you can do all that. So never be always with the crowd. Where I was, yeah, constant and aspiring to live in solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, same thing, because each one will have, or satsanga is okay, like people like in our class, like suppose there are 20 people are there, or taking up some other shloka class, come, we'll join that also. So you'll have different group in all that. Maybe it's the same people you may find in most of the classes, but like that. So satsanga is good. So what you'll be talking about, maximum you'll be talking about the classes or the scripture or Krishna Kabukri, that part was very good. That episode was good. Something you will talk about the classes, which is okay. Satsanga is okay, but not otherwise. They will all deviate us from our being aim. Yes. Then accepting the importance of self-realization, Adhyatma Jnana, who are we? Why have we come here? When are we going to go back? Always we have to learn. Philosophical search for the absolute truth. Tattva Jnana Artha Darshanam. We need to wait all this philosophical point, 26 and all this on, and we have to search the absolute truth and understand. And here also, the same thing is given, reject and cleanliness, was bathing, external, chanting, internal, whatever I said is written here. Will not waste time. And all these I declare to be knowledge. And besides this, whatever there may be, is ignorance. Yeyam yattat pravakshami yajnat vamritam asnute anadimatvaram brahma nasattan nasat uchyate. I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Now still God is yet to tell some more. Now I will explain you what is knowable, what you can understand. Knowing which you will taste the eternal. Brahman, the spirit, meaningless and subordinate of me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. What is Brahman? Bhagavan type, this form only is Brahman. That this light form. Then Bhagavan only has 400 form as Paramatma. All these are what? The spirit, beginningless, and they're all subordinate of me. There's no beginning for them also. They're all subordinate to the Lord, and they all lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. I'm going to explain further. Sarvendriya Gunabhasam, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam, Asaktam Sarva Brichaiva, Nirgunam Kuna Bhoktricha. The super soul is the original source of all senses. Super soul, that 400 form of Krishna, is the original source of all senses. Yet he is without senses. It's again a tricky, but try to understand, it will be very tricky. He is providing all the senses to everyone, but he is without senses. You can, eyes for him, that eye is what we see, not meant for seeing. With eyes he can eat our prasad. He has to just look at the prasad That's what we have in Tamil also. Kanda Rula Pandanam. Kanda Rula means what? Kanda. One be seen. And you have to offer. Even if he looks. So we have that in bhajans are also, just Kadaikan. We say Kadaikan means what? At least a glance through the corner of your eyes, just look at me. That much grace is sufficient. You don't have to look at me and hug me and all that. A small glance through your corner of your eye, please look at me and grace me. That is how big acharyas and all have written, bhajans and all that. So this is how we need to, because all his body parts are all very different. Then with what? With his ears he can walk. He can go to any place and all that. So the senses are only for us, but he is without senses. He is unattached. Though he has created all this, he is unattached. But we, one small house we build, one wife and or one husband with 2 children or 1 children, we were so possessive. Arey, bacha, khana khaya kya, this and that, and studied, or where you went, did you reach, did you come, that, this, so much we take care. So we're all attached, so much attachment. But God has created the entire universe. He's not attached. So many things are happening. So he is unattached. Although he is the maintainer of all living beings, he transcends the modes of nature. Though the modes of nature is all his energy, but he is now above that. No material energy can, harm him. Harm him means it doesn't make him a puppet, and Sattva-guna, Rajo-guna will not affect him. He is the creator of those 3 gunas. He is above all that. He transcends the mode of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of the modes of material. He is a master of his own energy is a 3 modes. Okay. Bahir antascha bhutanam. Bahir antascha bhutanam. Acharam charam evacha sukshmatvat tad avigneyam durastham chantike tat. Yeah. Where is he? Bahir. Is there outside? Is there inside? The supreme truth exists outside and inside of all living beings. Inside as Paramatma he lives, and is there outside also. And he's where? There in Goloka also. The moving and non-moving, everywhere is pervaded. Because he is subtle. He is beyond the power of the material senses to see or to know. Although far, far away, he is also near to us. Though he is there, Goloka Vrindavan chart we saw, where he is living, where are we? The full Brahmanda mein, ours is just small thin layer, earth. Uske upar the 6 layers, reaches 7 layers. Like this, there are so many Brahmandas. When you go up and up, then there is Goloka Vrindavan. In that also so many, the levels are there. Then inside, that is called Goloka Vrindavan. So he's so far, far away from us, but still he is near to us. He's there residing in our own heart. Like that. So it's very difficult to perceive, difficult to understand God. If anybody say, now I understand, means you have not understood. You have to start from beginning. What is God? Then start from beginning. Yes. Jyotisham apita jyotis tamasap param uchyate jnanam nyayam jnanagamyam hridi sarvasya vishtitam. He is the source of light in all luminous objects. If there is any light coming, yes, that is God. God is in that sunlight. Oh, sunlight, yes. Then there are people, it's a sunrise comes, they just do some namaskar. And what are we doing at home? Lighting a lamp. Why? Because my elders have done that. But what is the significance? Why only light lamp? Not only we, Christians are lighting candle. What is that? Light again. What is the light? We see, we are invoking the God, we are invoking the Lord in that light form. So he is the source of the light in all luminous objects. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge, he is the object of knowledge, and he is the goal of knowledge. उनके बारे में पढ़ना है. So all these Vedas and all. And then in 15th chapter that shloka comes. Same meaning will be there. Veda, what is written by whom? Bhagwan only. All the Vedas created by whom? Bhagwan. Although Rishi Muni must have written, whoever is written. But what is the content is given by Lord. Okay, by reading what? You're going to understand Bhagwan. Yes, I am. Bhagwan ke baare mein likha. Okay, what is the purpose? After learning, what are we going to go? We'll go to Bhagwan only. You will go to Goloka Vrindavan, Bhagwan's Dham. So everywhere is God only. So he is the goal of knowledge. He is the object of knowledge to understand. He is the knowledge himself. He is situated in everyone's heart. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Something that's funny, yes. Iti kshetram tata jnanam nyayam choktam samasatah madbhakta etad vijnana vignaya madbhavo madbhavayopapadyate. Thus the field of activities, the body now is concluding. Thus, this body, the field of activities, knowledge and the knowable have been summarily described by me. It is only summary. The summary itself is so mind-boggling, right? At least for me, it is every time I read, enough. Now I have to come out of it. Enough. So much only I can grasp, Beyond this, still some more explanation doesn't go inside my brain. Even this to write, this is only a learning part. And when you go to level 3, level 4, level 5, you have to actually write. It's very interesting. The path is interesting, but to get exact words and write the answers become difficult that time. Although philosophical, right? Very difficult. At least maybe some may be very intelligent and they can write. For me, it was always difficult thing. Very difficult to understand. Okay. So he is saying, summarily he has described only a few, summary has done. Only my devotees can understand. So that proves that I'm not his devotee. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attend to my nature. Definitely, a person who understands this, as a devotee, you understand this and you thoroughly understand. And definitely, this is also one of the points. Just you can make note of all the, in each shloka, in each chapter, he keeps saying, such a person will come to me. This is the eligibility criteria. You will come to me. No, without masuchaha, don't worry. I'm promising you everything he says. So there are so many shlokas he's saying, you will come, definitely come to me. Yes, Prakritim Purusham Seva Vidyanadi Ubhavapi Vikaranscha Gunam Seva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan, material nature and the living entity should be understood to be beginningless. Like we always refer, no? We must have taken so many lakhs and crores of Janma. We do not know. We are all beginningless. When are we created? We do not know. Happy birthday only is this for body. Last birth was a different date as a happy birthday. But we do not know whether we were like a human form or a monkey form or a tiger or which form we were there. We do not know. But it has never happened like we have been created. We have born. No, this body only has this happy birthday and all. But even nature, it has happened like nature was not there. So nature and the living entity, material nature and living entity should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformation, we keep transforming, and the modes of matter are products of material nature. We keep transforming, that's all. Karya karana kartritve hetuhu prakriti ruchyate purushaha sukha dukkhana bhoktritve hetu ruchyate. That's all we saw earlier also. Nature is said to be cause of all material activities and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of various sufferings and enjoyments in this world. Means what? Nature is cause of all material activities. Nature, because according to the nature, tamoguna, rajoguna, sattoguna, all the activities have been done by all the living beings. And the effect also we can see. Whereas living entity, what are we doing? We are the causes of the various suffering and the why we are the cause, why not this material? Yes, we are doing as per the material. See, sattoguna then we do puja path. But we all have the freedom also. See, when a person is too much of the rajogun, have to taste, all that. He's eating like a pig, actually. He's eating. Next Janma, he will become a pig only. So like that. So we get that form, what we are, the way we are behaving. So, but whereas the living entity is the cause of various suffering. Because of this, our activities, we are suffering and enjoyment, various sufferings and enjoyments in this world. So we like, what we are doing, whatever karma we are doing, this janmami, this birth. Accordingly, you're getting a next. Then after getting that next birth, if you try to remember, oh God, I was a good human being. Now how did I become pig? If you get that remembrance, then you'll feel sad. Oh, why this God made me pig and all? It is because of our own act, the way we were behaving. Then ultimately we turn to be this. So we have all. We may say because of the three modes. Earlier it is said, no, three modes, but so Rajoguna was so much, that's why I was eating. No, but even in spite of Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattoguna, you are given some freedom. But we are not utilizing that freedom. Freedom is for what? To better ourselves. So even now, activities, we are all in the three modes. Yes, definitely this, playing. But still you people opted to come to this class and attend. Why? That you're forcing yourself. Yes, no. We go to afternoon is the time to sleep after good food, lunch and all. But no, I will just listen. So you have chosen that freedom is given. We have to make use of it. Then you will come out of the sufferings or whatever. But actually, we are to be blamed for not, upgrading ourselves. So we are the cause of suffering and enjoyment. in this world. Yeah. Purushaha prakritisto hi bhunte prakritijan gunan karanam gunasangosya sanasagyo nijanmasu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life. Such like this, he is for making, each form is taking and he is following this path of life. This is due to his association with that material nature. So according to material nature, he keeps, acting according to that Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna and all. Thus he meets with the good and evil amongst various species. Accordingly, take each form as per the guna. And but if he cultivate that Shuddha Sattva-guna, how to cultivate that? Only by devotional service. Then he will be away from all this. He need not have to go to these species and all. Directly he can go to Goloka Vrindavan. That is not happening. Yes. Upadrashtanu manta cha bharta bhokta maheshwarah paramatmeti chapyukto dehe asmin purisha parah. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, Paramatma, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as an overseer, looking as a witness, overseeing, and permitter. Is permitting also, is the sanction giving, and who is known as the super soul. Yet other than now, all this time we were talking of Atma. Now there is also Paramatma in our body. He is actually looking whatever we are doing, everything is watching, and he is the permitter. Whatever action we are doing, it is all because of his sanction. He sanctions it and we are doing it. Ye evam veti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha sarvatha vartamano api nasabhuyo abhijayate. One who understands this philosophy concerning material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. So we have to try to understand what is this philosophy is all about, how the living entity and the interaction between the living entity and the mode of nature, how it affects. The next chapter is all about this one, mode of nature, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and we can learn. That will be interesting. So once you understand all this philosophy, such people can also be sure to attain liberation. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present situation. You may be Ajnani. You must have not learned any scriptures. No problem. But once you understand the philosophy, still you'll get liberated. Just because once you know all this, you'll definitely take Bhagavan ka Naam. You will start, doing some devotion. So, and you'll be liberated, regardless of this present situation. You may be poor by economically, or not very qualified, or manda buddhi, or whatever. But still, once you have to understand the philosophy, you'll be reading. Then, Jnane atmani pashyanti kechit atmanam atmana anye sankhyena yogena karma yogena chapare. Some perceive the super soul within themselves through meditation. So everybody has to meditate on the Lord. So some realize Paramatma through meditation, others through the cultivation of knowledge. Some people will prefer to go through the scriptures, read, learn Sanskrit verses, they just by heart and understand the meaning. So that way they try to realize the Paramatma, the Lord in the form of Paramatma. Others what? There are some more, and still others through working without fruitive desire, like a farmer or anybody, like even the doctors and all. Every day they go to hospital. What are they doing? They know the patients will come. Any time of the day, they are ready. Even at night, they are full tired. They must have reached home. There will be a call. Come, there's an emergency. Then they have to go. It's all for doctors and all these people, life-saving people there. So all these people, they don't expect anything in return. So such people will also, they are actually, Paramatma ko puchte, who's not expecting anything. See, this is again spiritual. I'm not talking, doctor is a wrong example I took. But I'm just saying, as a doctor also, they do that, but they're not into spiritual. So spiritual example, what you can take is, I said farmer also, this is also a wrong example, but only the concept I'm saying. Every day he will go, like even in job also, every day we go to work and come. Every day we go to work and come, like that. So one who is not expecting anything in return, they also indirectly were worshipping Paramatma. And also who? Anyetva evam ajanantah shutvanebhya upasate te api chati taranti eva mrityum shruti parayanaha. Yes. Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge like we do not know much about spiritual knowledge. But what are we doing? Giving our ears. Oh, is it? Oh, Bhagavad Gita mein itna likha hai. Okay. Then you go to some other class also. Attend 6 a.m. Attend now 9 p.m. or 7 p.m. Attend various other classes also. In your own language, you have a different language, you can attend that also. You may not be able to write. At least you know your language because you're speaking, conversing in the language. If you're Kannada, you can go to attend in Kannada language also. Telugu, Bengali, Odiya, any language, Tulu, any language, all 12 languages we conduct classes. So again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the spiritual person upon hearing about him from others. Because of the tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death. They also come across that birth and death cycle, say they get relieved. So what are they doing? Basically, they are not very religiously spiritual knowledge, but then they learn. They learn from the master or somebody, they learn. They try open their ears and listening, all that, and they will also get liberated. Almost coming to the end. Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattam sthavara jangamam kshetrajna samyogat tadviddhi varadakshava. O chief of Bhartas, whatever you see in existence, both the moving and non-moving, is only the combination of the field of activity. Now we know what is field of activity, the working, all this, so many details we saw. So that is the field of activities and the lower of the field. So, but a person who is not scripturally, active, or he doesn't understand, he will not understand this. He only sees, I am the, see, this it is shown, he's Atma. But if he's not scripturally inclined or spiritually inclined, what do you think? I am only doing what? My hands are doing, like that simple thing only he will understand. He will not understand that field of activities contains so many things. Just now we saw that working senses, or knowledge of appearance senses, mind, false ego, so many things we saw. Such details a person who is not a devotee won't understand. So you see in existence, moving and non-moving is only a combination of field of activities and the knower of the field. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishchantam parameshwaram vinashyat swavinashyantam pashyati sa pashyati seeing. Who is seeing actually what you are able to see clearly is one who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies. One who sees that way, see any ant or any living being or any plant or anything. Achalam or chalam. Chalam is what? Moving, or achalam without moving. Anything you see, but you should realize that there's Paramatma inside that also. There's an Atma as well as Paramatma. So one who sees that way as a Paramatma, super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, and who understand that neither the soul nor the super soul within the destructible body is ever destroyed. And when the body dies, when the body gets slain, Paramatma and Jivatma, Atma doesn't get slain, it goes to another form, another body. So one who sees this is actually a seer. He actually sees the right things clearly. This all will be repeated in 18th chapter, okay? 18th chapter will be again summary of all this. Samam pashyanthi sarvatra samavashchitam ishwaram nahinasti atmanatmanam tato yati paramgatim. One who paramgatim, one who sees the super soul equally present everywhere. One who understands that equal, not kisi ke isme bada, chota, according to your deeds. No, it's just similar. Whether it be an ant, same size, it be the elephant also same size. So one who sees the super soul equally present everywhere in every living being does not degrade himself by his mind. He will not torture himself, or he will not degrade himself, because he should understand there is Atma inside me, this Paramatma inside me also. So I cannot, harm myself. Some people out of foolishness, that in bhakti, they put that some sharp objects, all these things, religious things, they do. But you are not supposed to do all that. It's not meant. So anyway, thus he approaches the transcendental, such person who understands that I'm not supposed to harm myself. Like for example, committing suicide. But if Paramatma is there inside you, he's going to be a guiding force. The Atma is there. You have no right. God has given you the body. Who are we to take out the body? Atma ko zabardasti bahar feke, you're just killing that body. That is not advised. So thus he approaches the transcendental. Such person who understands this approaches the transcendental destination. Yes, I think this is the last. Prakrityaiva cha karmani kriyamanani sarvasha yapashyati tatatmanam akartaram sa pashyati vaitam. The real seer, who is a real seer, he sees what? Actually what is happening. He should know clearly what is happening. That person is the actual seer. Seer means who sees correctly. One who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created by created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. Now this is like an Atma is a setting. Is he doing anything? No, you should understand that Paramatma is also there, Atma is also there. Only the activities and the other mode of nature is making him do all that, but actually self does nothing. Self Atma doesn't do anything. When you understand that, then what? From the body which is created. And such person actually sees what is it. Very technical and very philosophical, okay? I mean, understand how much ever, it's okay. Yata sarvagatam saukshmyat akasham nopalipyate sarvatra vasito dehe tatatma nopalipyate. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix. But when you look like this, you feel, oh, the land and the sea and the akash is it is got mixed. You think like that, but no, it doesn't get attached. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything. Although it is all pervading. Sky is the space. It's pervaded everywhere, but it doesn't get contaminated. It doesn't get mixed with any other thing. Similarly, the soul, situated in Brahman platform, Brahman vision, does not mix with the body, though situated in the body. For years together, for 90 years, 100 years, old man is dying. So you can imagine 100 years, that soul is there with the body. Very coolly, it goes out of the body, enters into another body. It doesn't care for that body. And the body has become weak. How long shall I stay there? Okay, all gone. Okay, now I'll go from this body, go to a young body. So it is not getting contaminated at all with that, no connection between the body and the soul. Hare Krishna. Yata prakashati, oh God. Yata prakasha shayati ekah krishnam lokam imam ravihi kshetram kshetri tata krishnam prakashayati bharata. These verses we don't regularly read, no, so it becomes difficult. O son of Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, the moment even the sunrise is also not seen, but tab tak sab brightness aa jata hai, so powerful it is. The same way, so does the living entity one within the body illuminate the entire body by consciousness. So the same way, the soul is illuminating the body, and with that soul inside us, we are doing so many activities. We want to this also what reach moon also. Because the soul is there inside, it makes us do all that. So much of wonderful things we do with our mind, intelligence, and all that. The moment the soul goes out of the body cannot do anything. It falls, dead body. So does the Son of Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity, that is called soul, one within the body, illuminate the entire body by consciousness. Consciousness is awareness. I think this is last. Okay. Kshetragya yor evam antaram jnana chakshusha bhukta prakriti moksham cha ye viduryanti te param. Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body, and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in the material nature, attain to the supreme God. With all this understanding, we have been learning all this, and you understand the difference between the Atma and the soul and the body, material body. Then you ultimately what? You'll be relieved from the bondage of this material nature, and you'll attain to the supreme good. Okay. Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Kshetragya Vibhaga Yogo Nama Trayodasho Dhyayah. This completes 13th chapter. Yeah, what is a quick summary we'll take? Arjuna wants to know about Prakriti, that is nature. Purusha, the enjoyer. Kshetra, the field. Kshetragnya, the knower of the field. Then Jnana, knowledge. And Nyeya, the object of knowledge. He wants to know all these details. And Krishna explains that Kshetra is the conditioned soul's field of activity, that is the body. Within it reside both the living entity and the Supreme Lord, who are called Kshetragnya. The one who is knowing about the body is called Kshetragnya. So who is knowing the living entity as well as the Supreme Lord, the knowers of the field. Jnana, knowledge, means understanding of the body and its knowers. Knowledge involves qualities such as humility, non-violence, tolerance, cleanliness, self-control, absence of false ego, and even even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events. Then Nyeya, we saw that also. The object of knowledge is the super-soul. Prakriti, nature, is the cause of all the material causes and effects. The two Purushas or enjoyers, who? Atma and Paramatma. are the living entity and the supersoul. A person who can see that the individual soul and the supersoul remain unchanged throughout various types of material bodies, they successfully inhabit and is said to possess the vision of eternity. By understanding the difference between the body and the knower of body, and by understanding the process of liberation from material bondage, one reaches the supreme goal. So you have to understand all this philosophy, and then you are sure to reach the supreme goal. Yeah. Tomorrow again, on this basis only, but not too much of philosophical, only guna, only the sattva guna, raja guna, tamo guna, how it acts on our body. That is what we are going to say. Guna traya vibhaga yoga. Guna traya, three modes. The conditioning of the soul by the material modes. Because of these material modes, how we are getting bandha, like bandha atma. We have all become conditioned. Effect of conditioning by the modes. We'll see that also. Then how to transcend the modes of nature. They're all given the freedom to do this devotional service. Automatically, this will get loosened. The noose will get loosened, and you can achieve the transcendental nature. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. This is Panchatattva mantra, and we'll chant Hare Krishna mantra three times here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, what did I stop? Yeah, then next is our prayers to all, also to the Vaishnavas who are attending our class. Yes, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki
Jai.
Anantakoti Bhakta Vrinda ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki
Jai.
Shri Krishna Mahamantra ki
Jai.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki
Jai.
Bhagavad Gita और भागवत ग्रंथ की
Jai.
राधा गोविंद की
Jai.
और प्रेमानंदे.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you so much.